Hello, this is Scott Stubrood. I'm the old fart with Old Fart Wood Art. Anyway, today what I want to do is I want to try to illustrate the rule of 45 degrees to slicing the wood versus scraping the wood. Okay, I have drawn a midline here, and I've drawn a series of pretty close to 45 degree angles coming across that, and I want to demonstrate to you why this is so crucial. That is the optimum angle for slicing wood. Okay, so that means when I use a bowl gouge, so this is the point at which I have my rest for all my tools to be basically sliding across center when they are not tilted. Okay, so my carbide tools, this is going to be a comparison with carbide, right on that center line. All my carbide tools horizontal, right on that line. Okay, even this square one with the round corners, right on that line. My spindle gouge, when I have it in a pretty neutral position and the handle fairly raised, it's going to run right across that line. Okay, I am not going to use these tools horizontal on the tool rest. I'm going to use them tilted. Okay, let's start with the bowl gouge. I'm going to use them handle dropped and rotated to where my cutting surface, hopefully I'm going to roll this over so you can see I'm going to roll this back until my cutting surface is right there. And now I'm cutting above center also. With my handle dropped, I'm cutting up there. But if you saw that as I drew that across, that's taking a nice little shaving off that wood because it's a 45 degree angle. If I were to just drop the handle and put it in like this, that's going to scrape the hell out of that wood. It's going to leave a very rough surface. Rotated to approximately 45, plus or minus, will allow me to slice the wood. But so first of all, and I'm going to show you something else in a second. So that is what I'm trying to achieve with all of these tools, plus or minus again. But we also have to consider the angle of the tool coming up from the backside, like this, where it comes into the wood. All right, we'll get into that later, but I just want to show you that for the most part, these tools, that's what I'm trying to accomplish. 45 degrees. 45 degrees. This is rotated on its side, tilted at a 45. But I am trying to get about the same angle from the bottom side, about a 45 coming into the wood this way too. Okay? So if I look back over here on the back side, the bottom part of my blade is cutting up here. If I look at this, the bottom part of my blade is at about the same angle, approximately a 45. Same thing with the spindle gouge. Okay, so I am trying to maximize that angle right there to give it the best slicing cut by rotating my handle slightly to accomplish the nicest cut. Same thing with my big carbide cutter. Okay, it's rotated. But I'm concerned about the angle of entry from the bottom too. Even if I had a square cutter with a round radius on it, I'm going to cut approximately like that. But the back side of my tool is forming that same optimum angle at about a 45. That is my cutting edge. So not only is my cutting edge cutting this way, but it's also slicing into the wood from that direction, giving you the optimum cut. Okay, and as I take this, like if I take this bowl gouge and I enter into that wood, it's going to cut for a little while, and then it's going to cut to a point where I'm going to be riding that bevel in the direction that I want it to go. So once that gets deep enough to where this bottom side slides as I'm sliding in, it's going to follow that bevel right there. And then after I get all the way in there, I can just ride that bevel wherever I want it to go. Okay. So not only are we concerned with that being the angle that we want to enter the wood, but we're concerned about this back side over here. I'm cutting on the bottom side of this, so I'm concerned with this angle slicing into the wood. If I have that angle too, if I roll this over too much, now I'm going to start scraping more and less slice. If I roll it back too far this way and I've got this angle going up too high on the back side of my cutter, if I roll that over too far this way, that is going to generate a catch. As soon as I get that to horizontal, or vertical I should say, that's a guaranteed catch. Well, under most circumstances, but if I get that rolled over this far, I'm going to catch that edge, and it's going to rotate around and give me a violent catch. So not only do we want to use the roll of 45 right here, wherever I'm cutting, I want that to be approximately 45 degrees into the wood. And I want the bottom side of an edge has two sides to it. So I'm talking about the bottom edge and the top edge right there. Okay, so that's what we need to be concerned with. And when we get that as close to 45 plus or minus as possible, that's when you're going to get the most beautiful slicing cut you've ever seen. So I am trying to accomplish the same goal with all these tools.